Like with like the fire, like I don't like with you write about the
Yeah,
fire and shit. Like that's a really dark
yeah,
memory, but to get to that muse, you kind of have to get to that certain place.
yeah, and that kind of explains why it took a year for me to put that album together. Me and BG, me and Big Ghost was conversating and throwing tracks back and forth and ideas for a long time. But like I said, I write as I live, so it is pretty crazy, but I live a crazy life. So it's just funny. It's just funny because it's like I never run out of material because not only did I not talk about a whole bunch of stuff that I went through in my past, but shit is just still going on today. And the strong me and the strong, resilient me that I am, I'm just getting through it, letting the time pass. And I'm entering this shit, man. It's some bullshit, man. I'm putting it in my diary, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just coming out good. But one thing I do want to say though, what I do want to say to people is I appreciate it. I see everybody who is saying, "Oh, I nominate this for album of the year and this, that, and third." I really appreciate it. I love my supporters and I love you guys for feeling that way. And I just want y'all to know whether it's album of the year or it's not, or whether y'all feel it should be. I just want y'all to understand that my music is personal and it's real. You know what I'm saying? So whether you can compare it to somebody that, no offense to any other artist, but you can compare it to somebody that just sit in the studio and write the first lyrics that come to their head. But I would rather somebody come to me and be like, yo, I listened to this song and it changed my life. Or I listened to this song and it motivated me to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the type of music I want to make. So thank everybody, but I still want y'all to just love the project for what it is. Listen and understand it. Don't just give it one spin or two spins and feel like, oh, all right, he got bars. No, that shit is real. Listen to it. Understand it's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Word.
was just on Crime Faces last night, Lukey Cage's podcast, and we were
Yes,
talking
sir.
about it, and we were talking about how you are that way, but also Big Ghost is that way with his production. Like literally we were talking about
Yeah.
his type of projects you can like stop listening to for 2 months, go back, and it's a completely different project that you never
Mm-hmm.
realized before. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I like. I'm excited to listen to your project in a year. Like, like go
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
listen to that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I occasionally do that. Sometimes I get high and drunk as fuck and I just sit back and those are my times where I gain my confidence to listen to my material.
Man, that's
And so
hilarious because when I have to listen to my shit, I roll a fat joint. I
yeah,
listen to it
hell
on
yeah,
Do Not
bro.
Disturb,
Hell yeah.
and I'm like,
I
shit, I just got to
understand.
get through it.
I understand. I totally understand. But it's
Yeah.
like you can't say that when you don't listen back, you don't understand, and you don't see that this is your calling, that this is what you do. I'm quite sure that you listen to yourself and said, shit, I am pretty good. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I do. But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're your biggest supporter and your worst critic. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's because if
Mm-hmm.
you loved your
Exactly.
shit, you would never want to do more. You would never want to
Mm-hmm.
push yourself. Like that's the
That's
that's
right.
the
That's right.
the peril of a creative is if you loved your shit, you wouldn't do it anymore. And if you hated it, you wouldn't do it. You need both of it.
True. 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 Yeah, man.
And it's funny, I on Good Calling was Ghost was saying that you were one of his favorite artists to work with. I heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's he's every artist that I've talked to that he's worked with has a similar mentality. So it's like you guys all want to like work on yourself. There's a reason he picks the artists he does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the craziest thing about it, I said this to somebody else. Me and Ghost, the whole experience of putting the project together, I compared it to a kid being at an amusement park when it's time to leave. When it was time for us to wrap up the project, I felt like I had a new friend. I felt like oh shit, I ain't gonna talk to you tomorrow, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's how much
Yeah.
we was building, and it was just a very dope experience, man. I'm not gonna lie. Aside, like behind the boards, aside from the music, man, Big Ghost changed my life, man. That was a real good alley oop. He didn't have to help me at the time, but he saw something in me that it took me a long time to see in myself. So I was happy he actually, what I mean, took me under the wing and decided to do this project with me because it wouldn't have been here today, what I mean, on my own beliefs. Like we worked hard with it. I sat back and I did my thing, and I kind of feel like we kind of put together a classic, like whether people want to consider it a musical classic or not, I consider it a personal classic because it was a real big point in my life. That year that I listened to that project and I just listened to that whole year, it was like major, man. And it was major. And I'm happy I really got to put that together with Big Ghost, man. That shit is real, man. Probably one of my favorite albums.
It's a it's a beautiful piece, just like all together.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's a work of art all together.
Right.
Everything included in it. So he reached out to you for it.
Mm-hmm.
Did out of
He
the
did.
blue? Out of the blue, like one day?
Me and him, I did a track with Rim for him before, and it was cool. He reached out to me for the posse cut for Phoebe's project.
Shout out
That's my guy. Shout out Phoebe. You already know. UFO Phoebe, my dude. And why?
One of the biggest supporters from the beginning of this podcast. Shout out UFO.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's my guy. And that's also why he's on my project. I had to make sure I returned the favor because he gave Big Ghost the okay to, put me on the posse cut. And my verse on the posse cut is when Ghost hit me like, yo, like, people are hitting me about your verse on Phoebe joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, we can put something together. And, I already know who Big Ghost was. So I was ecstatic. I was just like, let it begin. You know what I'm saying? Let it begin. Yeah. And it wasn't supposed to be a year process. That's the funniest thing about it. We wanted to get it done as quick as possible. But, man, I've been through so much, man. After he told me he wanted to do that, man, I ended up getting into a new place. That situation happened with my family. A bunch of shit happened on the streets. So it was like, the longer I was waiting to go to the studio, because what a lot of people don't know, that A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is one studio session. Aside from my verse on the posse cut, I did all of those songs in one session. That's how I work.
Real?
I live my life. I write my music. I recite my music, and I go to the studio and I do everything in one night, just so you can get all of the energy and just get everything then. So as I was going on and just writing, more stuff was happening. And it's like, shit, it's like so many songs. The I Got 'Em, the song before the posse cut, that's probably like the third version of that song. Fucking East Flatbush, that's the third. I wrote 3 different versions of that song. Connie Hawkins was two different. Like I just kept approaching it differently, and then the end results is what I got from that one studio session.
When did you know it was done? When did you know you could go to the studio finally?
When I started feeling like, all right, I gotta hurry up and put some music out. It's been a while since people heard about Kaine. You know what I'm saying? It started becoming a point where, shout out to everybody in my team, Wavy, Spoda, Rim. All of my guys is working and, they just dropping a bunch of shit. And I was sitting back and I just kept feeling like, is it done yet? No, it's not done yet. Is it done yet? No, it's not done yet. But then while I'm doing that, they releasing projects and bids and projects and bids. I'm like, hold up. No, all right. Let's get together. All right, come on, y'all. Let's get it together. What we got? And that's when I just knew, like, it's time for me to put this work in. So it was probably like, right. The project dropped in October. I was probably buckling down the end of August. Like, all right, I can't go through this year. I can't go into the fall, winter without dropping this shit. So, all right, Ghost, I think we got enough. I'm going to record. Let's see what we got. And,
so out of the songs that you have on it, how many did he send you in the beginning, or is that the order that he sent them? Because I know with Phoebe, he sent it in the order it was released like that, and he didn't change anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I just I got a pack of the beats that I had. The beats that I had, it wasn't no particular order, but it was probably one beat. Honestly, the beat that you hear, the little interlude skit clip that you hear before Free Lunch, the track with me and Sky Zoo, that was actually a whole beat that I didn't end up using. And that was the only one. He gave me that whole pack, and then he gave me, that beat that I didn't use. But he didn't really have to send me much. Like when it comes to when I receive packs from producers, I tell them I like the challenge. So don't ask me what you want, soulful, no. You send your beats. I don't care if you send 30 for me to pick from, or if you send 13 and say, I want you to do this 13, just send me what you want and I want to work with it from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like, you know what I mean, to have much variety. Just send it through and I'll make it work. So he sent those joints. I laid those joints down. It just so happened that that's the project we got. And I sent it right back to him.
It's funny how shit works out like that, because it is like it worked out perfect. It worked out how it was supposed to. And I know there was
Yeah,
a lot
man.
that came out to it, but I'm talking from an outsider's perspective. Even the
Yeah.
release of it, everything. Like,
Man, I was very anxious, man. I was very anxious and I was very scared because I know Big Ghost Projects is like major and they big, and you know, the perfectionist in me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I hope people fuck with this. And then I'm like, I hope I didn't wait too long to release it because they didn't hear me in a while. But that's just how an artist's mind is, man. You would sit back for a while and be like, yo, I hope they forget about me. I hope they, but it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Your people, your supporters are your supporters, and hopefully you gain the new ones. But they're always checking on your music if your music is timeless. But I was just feeling like, you know, I just got to get it. And yeah, man, I smoke a lot, man. What was the question? We gotta.
I smoke a lot too. I don't remember either.
Yeah, but yeah, the project, man, it's
No,
dope, man. The process was fire, man.